damage shred. And on top of that, to make things worse for ONIC, Drian also has the Flask of the Oasis completed. So even if they do find a way to jump onto Watt, onto Kyrie, and we've seen how long he lasts, right? That's the best frontline they have. Because even with the Radiant armor, you have to remember now it doesn't stack as fast. There's a 0.6 cooldown per stack.
They've also fixed their macro. Look at the bottom lane. Slow pushing Jetson as well. Onto takes it of all people. Now in the back, Eternal Guard is zone Albert away. Albert's not going to be able to dish out any damage. And Lutpi is actually able to dive onto Case. Flicker out to safety. That's a knock-up on the back. And a Minute Fury on the Sans and Kai. Of Kyrie, isolated, all alone, terrified, and taken out by Watt.
Kyrie pulled the trigger very, very early in the team fight, and the Apostles of God punishes the Sky Kings. They want to say that the sky is our domain, man.
That's just brutal. ONIC, I think the idea was to go for a pick-off right before everyone's set up and ready, but too tanky, too much damage. Now the base is in danger.
Moving the blitz, but Watt has all the space he needs, even killing them with a Colat in the back. 1-0 to Dewa United. Convincing statement from the Apostles of God.
One more step towards the last Kage's revenge. What a statement. 14 minutes is what it took for Dewa United to melt down, to completely obliterate ONIC on those team fights. Beautiful, beautiful objective fights, especially with Drian taking care of Kyrie and the crew in those pits.
If you want to contest the pit, get rid of the ball, because that is what will happen. Drian once again showing that he is nothing to be trifled with, man. He is there to stay, and ONIC has to find a way to try and crack the solution, because the team fighting from Dewa, the idea behind, the concept behind their draft is just so solid right now.
We questioned it a bit with a Dyrok. What shred? Physical damage shred for what? For neutral objectives. And then Watt took over. Kaze took over. As much as we want to hype up the last Kage for beating his former team, my god, Kaze, was that a performance up against the best mid laner in Indonesia, Sans. I think he outclassed him that game.
Yeah. I think the micro play at the end was really beautiful. Just Winter Truncheon.
Of course, yes.
Then perfect timed flicker to get away from that Yu Zhong's damage. That was one of the winning plays, I believe, for Dewa United Esports. Like, if he didn't survive that, I don't think they would have gone all the way for the end.
Potentially, but I mean, is it really well timed, or is it him just going like,
maybe.
Come on.
Either way, it worked.
Yeah.
It worked, so full credit, man. The Vexanas. I've been talking a lot about how the usage of the more creative usage of the Eternal Guard hasn't really been seen in the MPL so far. Usually it's very straightforward, like I'm using it for damage, I'm using it for crowd control. Well, in this game, he really showed how adaptive he can be, because he used it, remember, to set up the kill on Kyrie in the top side of the map. He also uses it to try and get some zoning, he uses it to try and provide follow-up as well, not just initiate. And I think that's what you really have to do on a hero that has so much potential, like the Vexana.
Just the beauty of Vexana, you can deal damage, a lot of utility, but that utility leads to this guy getting the MVP.
Also though, aside from the beauty of the Vexana pick, it's also the beauty of a mythical creature, Game 1 Dewa. We've seen Game 1 Dewa in Week 3. They win every Game 1, but for some reason, they aren't able to close out these series.
Deja vu, right? Because last season, it's the exact same for ONIC. It's Dewa 1-0, I believe, then ONIC reverse swept them. So maybe this time around, Dewa is looking to make another statement, a different statement. Now we can close out games. Now we can actually be competitive with one of the best teams in the league.
Well, let's highlight Case here for a while, presented to you by your official tournament smartphone, Samsung Galaxy. Agility and Wilderness Blessing. He's all about utility right here. He wasn't the guy just doing insane burst damage. Let's take a look at that in the highlights by our official gold partner, UBS Gold. Eyes on the Vexana here. He's just doing a lot of damage, and, you know, at this fight at least, really was a whole concentrated group effort right here for Dewa to really zone out, to really layer the crowd control. And look at that. The eternal guard right there caught Kyrie off guard. He wasn't quite ready for it. And it's because he doesn't always use it as the first main engage tool. Sometimes he uses it after Dixon or after Drian, and that is a difficult situation to be in. Kyrie here, now he kind of predicts the eternal guard a bit better, but still, it caused him to actually have to retreat a bit earlier, and it doesn't work. And look at this. It's the grip, the Terrify, and then layered with the eternal guard that really caught him there.
It's a hard game for Kyrie. Look at that. It's kind of a desperate maneuver, but
Yeah,
I get
Dixon.
that.
Look at the zone though. Albert zoned away completely by the Eternal Guard. They go to K's. And then, nope, flickers out. Yeah, I think it was more of a spam out of the winner truncheon. But do you guys realize the last two fights before this, it was Dewa taking ONIC on 4v5. They didn't even have Watt.
Oh, you're right. Some of these fights, Watt just comes in a bit later, and it doesn't even matter, right? I think the combo is the idea behind the mutual objective fights is just so good. Have a tanky front line, have crowd control that's interchangeable, the Minotaur and the Terizla. And if you look at the items as well, you have to mention that for Keys there, he went for the Enchanted Talisman, he went for the Glowing Wand, I believe, but then he went straight in for a Winter Truncheon. So he knows that at some point here, ONIC's gonna realize, like, yo, this Vexana needs to be taken care of, man, needs to be dealt with. And he goes for the Winter, knowing that if it's a long drawn-out fight and he can bait out something with the Winter Truncheon, his team has the damage, has the crowd control to really clean up the fight.
Yeah, maybe the easier route is to just to ban it, but I believe ONIC in the start of week 3, they were the leader of objective takes in the league, and right now they're getting dominated 2 Lords to 0 and 2 Turtles to 1, just to further emphasize the usage of this Minotaur and also Vexana in those kind of exchange. We're gonna see some of the builds from the other members, kind of standard, and Albert 0-0-0 Rashi, like, he didn't get a chance to shine at all.
Well, he also
didn't
didn't
get
get taken out. Yeah.
Yeah.
He was kind of on the sidelines the whole time because he was zoned away. Like I mentioned in the beginning of the game, right? He's an aggressive player. He's on a short range marksman that can be punished, and he's against a Terizla, a Vexana, and a Minotaur. He's going to be forced to play so passively that it's just not the Albert style.
This is going to be dangerous for ONIC if they continue to perform this way. Obviously, we might be getting ahead of ourselves here. ONIC may be able to come back and recover in Game 2 with a different draft, a different play style, obviously, but the way that they're playing, especially here with Lutpi, it feels like they are kind of... well, for Lutpi, doesn't feel like he's really like making his own moves. He's just really following the team. You know what I mean? Like, he's not thinking individually how to approach these team fights. When the team says go, he just goes and he targets whoever. It's like he's getting micromanaged. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like he's getting guided by the rest of the members, and he's not really processing a lot of this information.
Yeah.
I recall this one fight in the Turtle Pit where we were all kind of like, whoa, hang on. The team has backed away, and he just goes in with the Black Dragon form. Moments like that.
It's like you send the code, go in, that's it. There are no other thoughts of like, oh, maybe I should go back.
Right, it's very straightforward. And against a team like Dewa United, right now, the way they're looking, you can't do that, man. You have to really judge the situation, you know, by each moment almost. So we'll see. I feel like for ONIC though, a big issue definitely is the crowd control. Right, they're a team that knows how to maneuver, and we said it earlier. It seems like Dewa United are kind of brute forcing, right, forcing ONIC by pure crowd control and damage to really be in those fights that they don't want to be part of. So I feel like if ONIC can have more escapes maybe or more crowd control immunity, they might do better in these fights.
On the risk of going on a 3 losing streak for this.
Never seen before.
Yep. And last week it was the MSC lineup too.
Yeah.
They got taken down by Rebellion esports, but this begs the question, like, so far Kyrie has been using the utility jungler. Should he just force himself to use assassin? Because
No?
No.
If it's not Nolan, Joy, or Fanny, no.
I mean, there has been a lot of games where I believe Hayabusa was not really the best pick for Kyrie and he pulled it off. And
That was back then, though, where it was at least still like viable-ish. Now, that will be a faster game with a Hayabusa in it.
Oh yeah, I get you, but yeah, it's situational. It's really sad, but oh man, like what is the adjustment that is needed? I really don't know. Seriously.
I think you have to wait until next game, but before that, we're going to be taking a short break. Ladies and gentlemen, stay tuned.
Tuker jersey THR dari ONIC. Judulnya gitu, Bude.
THR dari ONIC
Iya,
masih
bener.
berlangsung
Masih
ya?
berlangsung selama kita home edition.
Home teamnya
Iya,
ya?
home team.
Sama home team berarti sampai minggu keberapa nih?
Minggu ini kan terakhir, Bude.
Minggu ini terakhir berarti
Iya.
ya? Wah,
Selama Ramadan doang.
selama Ramadan
Iya,
doang.
benar.
Berarti tinggal kesempatannya berapa kali nih?
Tinggal nanti
Sekarang?
sama besok.
Jadi tinggal hari ini dan juga besok buat
Yap.
kalian yang mau jersey dan juga jaket ya
Jersey
dari
dan
ONIC.
box jaket.
Nah, boleh dong dikasih tahu PKL gimana caranya buat mereka yang kepengen THR dari ONIC.
Oke, untuk teman-teman yang pengen dapat THR dari ONIC, teman-teman bisa langsung ke booth ONIC. Ntar bilang aja, Bang kita mau THR dari ONIC gitu. Ntar pasti tanyain sama Bang Tabul, tanyain mau apa nih, mau bagi-bagi tuker jersey kah? Jersey kayak gini, jersey lama teman-teman bisa tuker dengan jersey ONIC atau jersey tim lain kalau esport ya Budi ya. Tim esport lainnya bisa tuker box jaket kayak yang tak pakai ini Budi.
Wow,
Ya.
dengan pinnya nggak nih?
Oh tidak, kalau
Oh,
pin ini
tidak
kan
ya?
pencapaian ONIC. Jaketnya
Oh,
doang, jaket.
Jaket ini ya?
Iya, iya.
Jadi untuk semuanya yang pengen nukerin bekas pakai nggak apa-apa berarti kan?
Enggak apa-apa ya, yang penting layak dipakai.
Layak
Layak,
dipakai,
mm.
bisa ditukerin dengan merchandise ONIC yang
Merchandise
baru.
ONIC yang baru. Bener.
Dikasih bekas diganti dengan baru. Inilah
Ya.
dia THR dari ONIC.
Iya, bener.
Apalagi? Di sini bisa belanja, ada diskon kah?
Oh, ada harga khusus spesial.
Ada harga khusus spesial.
Iya.
Jadi kalau dari PKL sendiri gimana nih ngelihatnya sekarang udah berapa sih? Udah puluhan katanya yang dapat THR dari
Iya udah
ONIC ya?
puluhan banget. Udah banyak Bude.
Stoknya masih bisa nggak?
Masih, kita terus restock. Restocknya aman.
Terus stok.
Iya.
Dan kayaknya yang harus stok ini ONIC nih. Stok kemenangan kayaknya butuh ya. Kasih
Itu juga
semangat
butuh.
dong.
Ayo ONIC semuanya, dimanapun kalian berada, dukung ONIC. Apapun keadaannya dan kita pasti bisa jadi juara guys.
Bisa. Akankah bisa? Tentu
Bisa.
saja kita akan mencari jawabannya bersama di Lane Off dan jadi caster. Monggo.
One more step towards revenge for the last Kage, but overall for Dewa United Esports, this is a game that is very needed to bounce back from that terrible loss against EVO's Glory. So this is a story of two teams trying to bounce back, but Dewa, I think they just wanted more in game number 1, but let's see what's gonna happen in game number 2.
Both teams went 0-2 last week in week 3. First time in ONIC's history since season 6 that they have gone to lose 2 matches consecutively in 1 week. Since season 6. 6!
That's a long time ago. I think we weren't even on duty yet.
Oh yeah.
It's that far back.
We weren't even casters yet. We were random nerds on the internet.
Do you know why they're losing?
Why?
Because they didn't practice with Samsung Galaxy A35 and
They weren't?
A55. Samsung
Wait,
Galaxy.
really? They were? I thought they...
Maybe. I'm just speculating here.
Assuming, I mean,
Yeah. If you wanna play games with auto win streaks, not like this. Smooth performances all day long. Try out the
Push
new Galaxy A Series 5G, introducing the new Galaxy A55 5G equipped with an extra, a lot of processors, Rashi.
yeah, I mean, the processor is just so good. I mean, the rate, I mean, like when you play the games, you can feel it, right? It's just so fluid, so smooth, and the display, of course, is a standard at this point, 120 hertz refresh rate, so you can see all the details. So head straight to samsung.com/ID and your nearest Samsung store to get the new Galaxy A55 5G and Galaxy A35 5G, and you can have installments starting from only 400,000.
400,000.
Come on, 400K.
400,000. But while at that, the best wallet to use to buy it is GoPay. You can scan the QR link down below.
Right here.
Top up diamonds in game. Immediately 20,000 rupiah
20,000
cashback. But the best
Right.
part is you can enjoy free top-ups and transfers 100 times a month. So if you
Yep.
use it 3 times a day, there's still gonna be some leftovers.
There's gonna be more than just some leftovers. There's gonna be a lot of leftovers that you can utilize those GoPay coins to buy other things. I have gotten so many cashbacks with GoPay coins, and in the end, I end up getting even more stuff, man.
Oh man, that was a very good app to purchase or like use, but okay, I'm not bridging it very well here.
Well, you're having consecutive losses, just
Yeah.
like the Sky Kings right here, man. Can ONIC regain the Sky Kings throne? Because the first defeat of the MSC 2023 lineup, like we mentioned, since MPL ID Season 11, Leg 2 versus RRQ. And they're experiencing 2 consecutive losses in 1 week since, like we said, Season 6, Week 6. It's been so long ago.
They've never suffered a back-to-back loss like that since Season 6.
We also have some thoughts from Coach Aldo, the former ONIC coach. Any team aimed to chase ONIC, who has always been at the top season after season, and therefore, from ONIC's perspective, they certainly want to try the new strategies to maintain their position at the top, and I think this is pretty much what happened, you know. And also, while also they're defending their throne in MPL Indonesia, I feel like they want to enhance their gameplay because apparently they're not good enough to clinch the #1 in their last 2 international tournaments.
2 consecutive losses as well. Ooh, the same team.
Oh man,
That's gotta be, there's a mental component involved there somewhere.
It's definitely painful.
Team Galaxy
Sort of
Zone
pain
Cam.
that this man will not be able to experience in his life because he's always winning in life with the Galaxy.
Oh,
look at that
the size,
Okay,
man.
Mew God 2000. Wow. Of course he uses a Samsung. Of course. That all makes sense.
I wasn't ready for that.
we got Max.
He's looks maxing with the Samsung Fold.
Unbelievable.
There's someone else who was also, well, he's not looks maxing, but from Coach Lionheart here, from what I see, there is indeed a different treatment with this shifting meta. From there, Coach Yep seems to be providing new knowledge that the team hasn't been able to adapt to well yet. Because from what I see, Yep may seem relaxed, but he's smart in leveraging the meta. Yep is the perfect leader, both out-game and in-game. And I think like, I really agree with the out-game stuff because he's very playful with his teammates. He knows his boys and, you know, never panic. I think that's how Yep usually approach his team.
Well, he has a reputation for just having one of the toughest, like whenever he leads a team, they have like one of the best mental states, right? Even though they're on a lose streak usually, when it's a tough loss, they've always been able to just relax and get back in the groove.
I agree with, you know, the statements. I agree, obviously, Yeb has been amazing for ONIC.
But
we have to take a look at his track record too. Season 8, MPL PH with ONIC PH. Peak. Went on to be first runners-up in MPL PH and first runners-up at M3. And then Season 9 came along and the team had bonded too much. They were all too friendly with each other. They were all too close with one another to a point where they started to stagnate. Does that sound familiar now? I don't want to assume, but right as you said that, I was like, wait a minute, we've seen this before.
Time to drop
From
the
who?
beat of the flash.
The same man.
So is this the impending doom of ONIC?
We'll see.
Maybe, but we're gonna see the draft first, again with Coach Yep against Cassius. And right away, they know that the importance of Minotaur is, it needed to be banned. Juan has been playing that hero quite well, but do they want to ban Vexana here? Or not? Because considering they have the first pick, they can also pick that for Sans. Interesting.
they can pick it up first, but especially for ONIC, it's almost like Sans is just so flexible and so dynamic. You don't usually feel the need to be forced onto a hero. So if they ban it here, I think it makes more sense for them. But no, they go for the Matilda. It's definitely a dangerous hero in the hands of Drian. So that one here, are they going to respect it, or are they going to try and take away a prior hero? I mean, the Fredrin that's been so popular is still available right here, and Dewa can't take that away because ONIC is a very jungle-based team.
They're definitely gonna first pick it here. If it's not banned out, the Fredrin. There's also an Arla that they can swap out for.
True.
If Dewa wants to leave both open, then they can just basically react to what ONIC pick.
Arla than Fredrin, and I believe Fredrin so far has 71% win rate.
71?
Yeah, 71 with
Wow.
top 2 pick so far in MPL Indonesia. So
This guy just never goes out of the meta now,
yeah,
huh?
ever since he got released, like
He's been meta
too
for...
much utility, man. Too much utility, too much durability, and also some damage with the Embrace's Wrath can catch some people off guard. But there it is. Already banned for Coach Cassius. Arlet's still open.
Fredrin is the only jungle that I can play quite well, by the way. So I mean, if I can do it, right, there has to be something about
Everyone
this
can do it.
about this hero.
Are you
I'm not-
downplaying yourself, man?
I'm not
maybe
the most
you're just
mechanical kind of guy.
Maybe you're just wise.
Oh,
You're right. We have to look more into that. But Arlet, as we mentioned, has been picked up. Now for Dewa, this is the interesting part, right? They have a different order right here. Are they going to go for a similar strategy? Or are they going to go completely different and catch ONIC off guard?
I mean, so far, I believe the priority in the gold lane has been carry, and I don't think Arlet Stark's fear to carry either can really be faded quite well, and what has been quite amazing with this hero. I believe there are some we've seen some plays from Watt himself going flanking with carry, which is a hero that quite unlikely to flank because he doesn't really have that range to work with, but it's gonna be the Barats and also Natan once again. This is a very early Natan. Usually when you pick a Natan, you want to have some kind of peel, some kind of security for this hero, but it looks like Watt is way too comfortable in Zero.
Very, very comfortable, man. When you have someone as comfortable on a Natan as Watt, you get those kind of performances where he's able to farm so well, and the team understands that. The team, for the most part, I think they're just going to pick up heroes that do good in a 4v5 situation. Earlier, we saw that. That's why Watt was able to get so much free space in the side lane just farming.
You have to remember though, the Minotaur isn't really in play any longer. So for Dewa, they have a strong jungle that can really contest the neutral objective, but do they have the right kind of setup against an Arlet, against a Baxia, and now a Claude? They're going to require some kind of crowd control, some kind of zoning tool if they really want to try and go for those 4v5s yet again.
Yeah, I like this better. I like this better for Joe United. Vexana is an option, but once again, it is gonna be a full barrage of magic damage. But it looks like it's not gonna matter because Joe United already passed that hurdle, already know what's gonna happen if they pick those two heroes together. But Claude, man, this is gonna be the perfect counter for this Natan, and there's no Minotaur, there's no knockup. So what do you do with it?
I'm thinking because we were talking about magic damage from Natan, we need physical. Wawa from the Indonesian desk has been very adamant, like it's Masha's time to shine, but I don't think that's gonna show up.
I'm sorry, no.
Imagine if it did though.
Oh my God!
I called it!
Wawa, what the heck? Wawa, what?
I called
Arashi, what? Nah, what?
Okay, this
No way!
This is the greatest call so far.
Oh my God.
I don't believe it!
I thought Mama is trolling.
I thought Wawa was trolling raised to the power of 2. What the heck?
Man!
Nah, what?
I'm
The
out of words.
Masha.
Dude, yeah, I feel so good right now.
I bet Wawa feels even better because he's been preaching about the Masha
Yes.
for 2 weeks.
Yeah, call
Since
him
last week.
Oh my God.
Call him Babe Ruth because he's calling the shots. Calling the shots, baby.
Bro.
Oh boy.
Okay, where's the Masha XP?
I think so.
Okay.
I think it has to be EXP. A big thing that we're talking about is the percentage HP damage. And within the current situation where, especially against Baxia and Arlet, a lot of these fighters with a lot of HP pool, the Masha has a chance. But again, we've never seen it in action, so we have to wait and see.
It's a tough job for the Claude. I'm just saying, all right? When the Claude jumps in, you get thunderclapped and you get disarmed. It's a bit tough as a Claude player to jump in against an Natan, Barats, and a Masha. So Albert's gonna have a very, very tough road up ahead for him. And it's a Lilia ban and the Faramis ban too. They're banning out a whole lot of mid laners because they can pick it up here. The Vexana is still up for grabs, so even though they didn't pick it in the first phase, they can just pick it up here
to further enable the Masha as well.
But honestly, do they want to just go for range at this point, right? Do they want to go for something like a Novaria?
Ooh,
That's an option.
not a bad option right here. But with their style, I think Vexana works a lot better. And they have a lot of heroes that can really bait out the engage and have a similar situation to that last fight in game number 1, where the Tarizla was the target. If the target was the Masha or the Barats, a Vexana can just bring so much value in the counter-engage department.
So I'm gonna check again. I believe the minor adjustment to Masha in this past patch is
Numbers.
the
It's a
range.
numbers thing.
Yeah, the range of the
Basic
basic
attack?
attack is enhanced by 0.2, and I
Yep.
think that's pretty, like, it's not really the biggest thing, but so far one of the weakness of Masha is his range as a melee hero is terrible.
Yep.
Very, very bad. And I believe the other adjustment is the less HP needed to proc your skill in the late game. So this is also a late game scaling hero in a way for Dixon. So let's see what's gonna happen. I'm still shocked, man.
Me too,
I'm still
man.
out of words.
Me too.
What are the
ONIC.
chances?
What do they want to pick up now, right? Knowing that there's a Masha in the team, there's also Valentina. What major do you want to pick up for Sans? Is still a Vexana? They need a bit more
Body
consistent damage, I
suffers.
think, to just melt through.
Benedetta for Lutpi.
Okay, but it's going to be a
Gord.
Gord. That's dangerous though.
Yeah,
An immobile
very.
Gord against a Masha. Oh, by the way, now it doesn't. Masha no longer disarms, but she actually does a lot of damage still. And the cooldowns have been reduced as well, Shevin, on top of the other buffs. So it's going to be a very spammable playstyle, a spammable a fighter with a lot of spammable skills. So now I'm wondering if there's going to be a split push kind of situation right here, because Dewa's at this point kind of notorious for it.
It's
Wait a minute! Masha Rome! Oh my god!
It's a
Bro.
Masha Rome to
Trian,
counter
bro.
the
Trian.
Arlet Rome.
You madman! So far, he has been the most unique player in MPL Indonesia. 9 unique heroes pick as a roamer.
The last
This guy played Chao Rome
Kage.
damage against Hanzo. This time around, Masha Rome against Apaxia.
That's crazy, man.
Oh my god!
That is just absurd. So now, the advantage of the Arlet, the strong all-in in the early game, I think it's kind of nullified. I feel like if they both just keep going all-in, level 1, let's say level 2, I think the Masha wins that.
Oh man, but look at that, Arashi. Counter index and lineup rating does not like the Masha at all, but I don't think it's gonna matter much because Masha has already been buffed, it's already been adjusted. Let's see, this is a special player on a special hero, and he's looking to get his revenge in this game number 2. The Apostles of God is looking to close this out against ONIC, the Sky Kings. Welcome to the Land of Dawn.
All troops deployed.
All right, let's calm down a little because the game has only just begun. I am very interested to see the aggression, I was going to say, but Keys is the one on the receiving end. A bit of a cheese move by ONIC right there to get an early advantage. But when it comes to clear, the Baxia will have a lot better time here compared to the Barats.
Trian is buffing. He's helping Lanaya to be able
Oh, look
to
at the damage.
secure.
That damage.
Oh my god.
He gets scratched twice and Keyboy gets zoned away, but it's kind of interesting, right? It's kind of a fun fact that the guy on the Masha is Drian. The once former Sky King is the one who has the Thunder Clap in his arsenal.
Ooh. Oh, look at the emblem.
Master Assassin. Okay, yeah.
He's not holding
Arlen,
back
be
at all.
careful, Keyboy, be careful.
He's out there for aggression, man. But whoa, Keyboy. Like we said, he is the one in the most danger right here. Because Kyrie, I don't think will be face checking. It's always going to be Keyboy later on, especially in the mid game. So we'll have to see. He has to try and get some defensive itemization out in the early game here, man. Because otherwise, that means that ONIC will have no control whatsoever. They won't have any vision to play around with.
The flexibility of this Masha. You can invade, you can split push, and who the hell's gonna take care of the Masha when it's a 1v1? How do you counter that? When it's gonna be like low take for 4-1 composition or like 4-1 strategy for Dewa United? Who's gonna solo lane it?
You have to remember that now, if the HP bar gets depleted for Amasha, she removes the crowd control. So even if they want to try and lock her down in the late game later on and burst her down with the combined efforts of Albert and Sans, let's say, there's going to be a time where Drian will be able to like escape from the crowd control and turn it back or escape, so it's even harder to pick off.
Already, really good job for Dixon.
Shield unity
Never mind.
petrify as
Never
well.
mind.
Dixon with a flicker out. Kyrie still doing some damage right now. There's the eye for an eye. All the way to the back. Dixon is still able to survive with one last pop. Mystic Gosh over the Sans and a flicker in two by K. Sans and Lupi level 3. Masha on duty. Over on this Turtles. Lanaya. He's not going to be able to secure right now. The final ball gets popped in. Lanaya will fall to Lutpi. First blood by ONIC and the first turtle too.
Already seeing some weakness from the Masha. Very bad use or like very little use in an objective fight. All she can do is just try to zone out some members, but if the damage is not enough, if it's a Baxia with the ultimate, what do you do with it?
Well, in the early game, there's not much you can do, but you have to remember, hey, when the mid game rolls around, Dewa can try and use the notorious split push Drian to try and get something done right here, and that way they also free up the Terizla from lane duty. Oh no!
Lanaya!
No one saw that, no one saw that.
Oh.
Don't worry.
Yes, Dixon will be free up from lane duty to participate in the fights, but Lanaya, no one saw that. It's okay.
No, everybody saw that.
No, didn't happen.
It happens for with the best of us. You know?
Just keep denying it, man.
So far, 1.1.
You want to see it happen.
I want to see the Drian Thunderclap. Boom! Thunderclap! No damage yet though. Only half HP. 3 gens back up. Albert's good. Corrosion side first item for Albert.
It's not a huge amount of damage, but still quite dangerous. 1 level advantage for Kyrie. Looking at the items right here, Dreadnought armors all across the board for sure, except for the Roamer, right? Because Drian's going for some damage. But happy feet from Keys. He's kind of well known on playing this Valentina.
Yep.
I do wonder later on what kind of... Is it just going to be the final slash and the Mystic Gush? Or is he going to try and go for those Electro final blows?
Steal the final blow, so makes you think.
Well, the possibility is quite low, but still, it's not zero. But the Masha pick, if it's time to choose, it's now, right? Because so far, I believe Derry United is still looking to bounce back, and if you want to dethrone ONIC and get that impending doom that I talked about with Mirko saying that, yep, might be one of the key of ONIC's downfall. Lanaya though,
Final blow, or final slash rather, onto Lanaya in the back. Drian doing the same thing. The Sans diving deep. Sans forced to flicker out. Now Albert with a blazing duet, and that's a Mystic Gush too. 2 big ultimates utilized here as Drian gets taken down. But on the other side of the map, it's a 1-for-1 trade. A Kyrie Baxia taken down for a Lanaya Barats.
look at the isolation, Arashi. The isolation, Drian was the only member from Derry United in the front line taking 2 away from ONIC, and there's no DPS.
And he burned 2 massive teamfight ultimates, the Mystic Gush and the Blazing Duet. If he keeps burning it before every neutral objective fight, then ONIC almost can't win in a proper fight. And look at the damage earlier. It's only very early on, only a Warhammer, I believe, for Drian, but he's able to almost one-shot Sans there. I mean, like just run him down and delete him eventually. So we have to see now that it's back to a reset. Is Drian gonna do the same thing?
Boy, final slash on a case now, all alone, isolated, still able to flicker out the safety, but is very, very low. Now conceal play. A final blow to the back with Lanaya. Now Chain Seed. He gets it, Entrance Welcome off, but it's going to be Kyrie who secures it. Drian in the midst of it all, still now isolated from the team. All the way, it's Dixon and Kaze in the mid lane.
What?
Still a thunderclap by Drian. We're going to run Sans down, but he gets stunned and taken out by the big bad laser from Sans.
I don't know about that play, Drian. I think he's forcing it a bit too much. Still playing with his limits, but in the bottom lane though, there's still some trades.
Again, another final splash on the K's. This time, no flicker to help him. Dixon as well. Caught on the choke point now, and it will be Keyboy who takes the double.
Kyrie in Keyboy back in his prime form, just 2-manning, man-marking everyone in the back line, or even the front line of Derry United, and this still somehow gets it with the DPS from the Baxia.
It's almost interesting how Dewa just kept going forward right there. Even Drian diving 1v4. Not what you expect, but he might be at it again.
He just flexing. Drian
the
again
damage?
though, chasing Albert with a dash. Drian getting outmaneuvered, now stunned up, and the Mystic Gush with Albert who pops the battle mirror image to get the last hit. Truly is the act of thievery.
Man, this is back to the quote-unquote feeding roamer strategy. We haven't seen it in a while. It was the Diggy and the Masha that was so effective at utilizing the strat. We'll have to see though. Drian with the Heptases, once again, almost really one-shot Albert, despite the fact that he was a level below and all that. So we'll have to see Keyboy trying to match that kind of aggression play.
All alone, Albert is there, but he's going to be brought back to the team. Has the flicker, gets out, penalties onto the little crab. Kyrie shielding to the re-engage over with the Mystic Gush as well, but Drian once again with Thunderclap into the back, forcing a flicker out from Sans. Now they're forced into a weird fight, but the final slash gets him so low. That was a wow. I didn't expect that damage from Keyboy, or was it Drian who's just so far behind?
I think the HP bar is not really much for Masha for the H1, but Ludpi though, getting the use of that team fight. That was a 4v5, and ONIC won the team fight and also won the macro gameplay.
Yeah, look on this Benedetta. We said he was very linear, and linear he is in this game. All he does is keep pushing. He hasn't been doing any crazy rotations, crazy flanks, and now look at that.
Dixon melted down, flickering out though. Penalty zone defensively, and a blazing duet by Albert onto the back, onto Kaze as well. The final flash, what Kaze? Trying to use it to the other side. Ludpi going on the chase. The entropy is there to zone Ludpi away as a double kill gets secured by Sans in the mid lane. 2 for 1 once again.
Oh man, looks like the experiment is not working out for Dewa United. The last Kage might be biting too much here. So far, the KDA
full damage.
0-4-0.
Not to mention, he has a hefty siege built up. That's partially why it looks like Kibo is doing so much damage. What though?
Entropy to get out. Ludpi now caught in a very tough spot. Drian, he caught Sans, so I guess... What? 5 death for 1 Sans, is it worth it?
It's a shutdown as well, by the way. Yeah. The longer this game goes, the more...
Hold up, let him cook.
Yeah, the more it's going to be annoying, man, because now the Thunderclap, it doesn't scale with max HP, right? That's why it's a different playstyle altogether. Drian needs to build damage for the Thunderclap to actually scale. But if he does have damage, he can one-shot the backline here, man. We're already seeing it. How many flickers, how many sprints has been burned because of Drian just running at you?
And what is farming very well. Uh-oh.
Oh,
1v1, the Bakja, the Tortoise versus whatnot. You're not gonna win this, bro. He can't. Yes, tank jungle. More damage than assassins. That's why.
and what I really like about Drian's gameplay so far is he pretty much disregard all of the team plays, all of the strategy that they have in terms of like 5-man rotations, 5-man team fight. He's just soloing. He's just going by instinct. Doesn't really care if he's feeding, and he's going at it again.
I'm not too sure.
Oh my god!
Ludpi gets taken low. Able to
There's a-
escape with the eye for an eye.
150, right?
160 now.
Yeah, but still deals that much damage, Rashi.
It's a one-item Masha, man. Almost 2 at this point. but
Imagine 2.
that is insane. I feel like the end game here, the evolution of this chat so far, it has to be with Drian just going solo split pushing now. With a damage build, he can take down turrets fast. He can probably delete the Benedetta a lot faster than the Benedetta can counter. I feel like that's what they're trying to build towards. Later on, once Watt has cashed up in farm, once they're ready for a team fight, they're gonna send Drian off, I feel like.
See in the mid lane, Lanaya trying to defend. Albert CG down real good with the help of Sans and Keyboy just escorting him in that mid lane. Lord number 1 for ONIC.
14 to 4 in kill department, 10 kills. The difference, and 7k in 10 minutes. Quite the difference so far, but Drian, for sure, he's not gonna give up. He's still looking for his revenge. One more step to glory. One more step to another W for Dewa United. Damage dealt Arashi.
Damage dealt, Albert still on top there.
Keyboy?
Keyboy second,
He's
Drian
5-0-7,
third.
man.
This is a Rome versus Rome situation. It was highlighted, but we didn't think it's gonna play out quite like this. But we'll see, man. With the Lord right here, Dewa, they don't really have a lot of space to really maneuver. ONIC are gonna try and use this moment to really try and get some objectives before Drian is back at it again.
Mystic Gush baited out, but Watt does get zoned away. The turret will be able to clear out the Lord with the help of Lanaya and Kaze. In the mid lane, though, tier 2 should be taken down by ONIC, and certainly now with the zone of Kyrie and Keyboy, it'll be very easy to take.
Another anomaly on that stat earlier is what is supposedly the lowest dealing damage members from Dewa United. So a whole complete different story from game number 1. This Natan is not Nataning.
He still needs to wait.
Yeah.
Yeah. He hasn't been participating in this fight, so it makes sense that his damage output is going to be low. But I do wonder for Dewa, why they went with the Valentina right here? Because I feel like a bit more crowd control, a bit more AoE, right? Utility would be very beneficial. But I guess they were expecting the whole fights to go quite like this, right? Full on barreling at each other. The fighters against fighters in the front line, and Valentina can do a lot of work in that situation, so we'll see if it really pays off, because so far, I feel like I would prefer keys on the Vexana instead.
Yeah, a lot more uses, especially in the high ground department. The passive's gonna work wonders, and also glowing one if he actually used it.
Might be a safety thing as well, right? Against all these dive heroes, he doesn't want to go for something quite like the Vexana that can be vulnerable once you do get on top of her.
I think mainly it's the follow-up issue, right? For the Vexana, very hard to follow up a very mobile, super fast Masha. So they want someone to be able to dash in and help the Masha when things get tough, when Drian gets one Thunderclap in, right? Because we did see that damage.
Yeah.
If someone is able to follow up instantly, that's at least a trade. That's 1 for 1.
Was it a BOD being built?
Yep.
Yes.
Well, that's one item Masha, Mirko, but I think the longer the game goes,
Wait for 2.
yeah, Drian doesn't need any help from his
There
teammates.
you go!
And
BOD!
that is huge.
It's time.
And Sans actually building brute force breastplate. I like that. I like that.
Yeah.
Unique movement speed, unique physical defense to kind of evade all his damage from Drian.
Whoa, very aggressive from Dixon. What? Brutality already popped as well. K's final slash on Albert right now. It plays into Wedge, shreds them down. Drian jumps into the back, but it's only going to be able to find one
my
member.
God.
He does take one with him. That's a shutdown. Watt now against the world. 1v2. Flipped with eye for an eye and a Phantom Sniper. When nature is still there, Watt going to be able to shred him down before anything, but Keyboy gets rid of him as well. Lord slain by ONIC. It's a wipeout for the Sky Kings. And man, that engage was messy.
Oh yeah, very, very questionable. Probably one of the questionable engages so far in this season. Dixon, that was with a flicker too, I believe.
That was one of the engages of all time, man. That was quite interesting. Now with the Lord though, with ONIC just cutting the waves immediately, they're gonna try and go for an end before this gets out of control, but with Dewa back, they're gonna be backing away. That's how scared they are of Drian!
Oh, the Brute Force Breathblade to it work,
Doesn't
but my
work.
God, that damage from
doesn't work.
Drian! The Brute Force does not work.
That is ridiculous.
Plate armor right now, Sans. Plate armor. I'm telling you, man.
Sans, Immortality, Sky Guardian helmet, blade armor, and steel leg plates, alright?
I feel like the only way he can really survive here, he has to like kite away. This is exactly why whenever I go on a mage against something like a Masha, something like, let's say for argument's sake, a Zilong, right? They can just keep chasing you, or Yutong. I always go for sprint, because you know that you're gonna be chased down and a simple flicker will not be able to save you. Or you have to either kite back independently or rely on your teammates. And right now, Sans is just stuck trying to go independent, but it's not enough. Even with the brute force, he's just getting caught so fast.
The sprint creature is back at it again. And so far we've talked about Drian too much, but we're getting sidetracked by the fact that Keyboy is 6-0-9 on Arlet. Now, Drian helped a lot with that, but still, this KDA is very unfamiliar in roaming any kind of roam. This is an insane KDA in 15 minutes.
He's 27-0. That's a very crazy KDA. Stunned up, don't miss the projectile.
Oh,
good Detector's welcome, punishing Keyboy.
Oh, wow.
Look at the burst coming down, miss the Gush as well. It's Lanaya who gets picked up, penalty zone! Onto the back though, and again, Dixon goes in alone. Disconnected completely from the team. ONIC now capitalizing on it. Keyboy didn't even die. 3v5 now, no Lanaya, no Dixon. Keyboy jumps in, Watt able to sidestep. Now Drian on the back, jumping once again with a thunderclap. Keyboy gonna be taken low, but a Mystic Gush onto the back, gets K's low as well. Another final bump to the back, and Lippy deals with K's. Watt versus the world, stunned up team, CC'd and taken out. 23-7. This is your final stat line of game number 2. Dewa, the Masha turned Nasha.
This might be a deja vu, man. We might be looking at deja vu last season. It was 1-0 for Dewa United. Looks like ONIC's gonna lose the match in game number 2, but they prevail. They came back, and Dixon, he might need to do a little bit more. I don't know. Just try to keep yourself in check with your engages. Because 2 times, or maybe 3 times, we've seen questionable engages from this guy.
In a weird way, I really felt like the strategy, the plan from Dewa really has potential. Like it really could have worked out somehow. If they were able to tighten the execution a bit more. Like maybe the times, the moments when Drian goes for the pickoff needs to be calculated a bit more, right? In order for his team to be able to get trades, for instance, and the engages and the follow-up as well. But Dewa, once again, I think it's a very impressive showing to just come out with this crazy strategy out of nowhere and somehow make us believe that it was possible. But ONIC shows again that they have experience and they're here to stay.
Okay, but that was very entertaining match.
Yeah, strong emotions in the arena as well.
Very strong.
I don't think we've ever expected Masha to be picked up. We thought Obwawa is trolling. We thought Obwawa is kind of crazy, but
I called it.
looks like he's crazy right.
Is he right though? I mean, like, the Masha got picked, but that's an abysmal stat line. 2-7, 2-8. I think he ended the game with. I'll stick with the nah that I said in the draft, man.
The Nasha.
Nasha, man.
I want to see more of it. I want to see more of it. Not gonna lie.
I want to see more of it, maybe in Classic, you know, or Ranked.
No, like, I think it could work, but it's just executed poorly.
Yeah, but I'm just not a fan of Masha.
You know, back then, when we saw Masha roams, they always go for the split push, and
I think that was what
Drian
he
who
wanted
was-
to, right? Because he wanted to do it. Because he got Master Assassin.
Exactly.
What other reason would you Master Assassin if it's not split push? But I think he was too behind.
I think he was trying to get the Master Assassin to try and go toe-to-toe against Keyboy as well in the early game when they're both
right.
kind of clashing to each other when they're looking for information. Later on though, I feel like there were moments where he could have started the split push, but it didn't. He didn't. He went for the dive instead, even against a full team. And again, I think without the whole team chipping in, I feel like it's too difficult to deal with him. But the man who did become a huge problem for that Masha is Keyboy on the Arlet, presented to you by our official tournament smartphone Samsung Galaxy. With the thrill, with the Wilderness Blessing, he was there to match Drian every step of the way.
Yeah, that's probably the reason why, like, the question that you asked Mirko in the earlier phase was, like, why does Keyboy deal so much damage to Masha? Looks like the thrill is the answer, but also Masha is
No defense.
yeah,
No defense.
full-on
Glass
attack
cannon
Nah,
Masha.
yeah, full-on physical damage. We're gonna see the highlights here in the early game. Really good objective taking so far from ONIC.
And then moments like this right here where they're just split up apart too far and Drian is always 1v3, you know? If he just finds better moments, if his team can position better to go for, when he can go for a 1v2 constantly, he's forced out two ultimates right here. And maybe it's because he was a bit too far behind, but I do feel like he was behind precisely because he went for some of these weird plays. We might see it in the replay right here where he goes 1v5 and Keyboy is barely able to really save his teammate. So it's moments like that that I felt really made things difficult for Dewa, and that's by their own design.
Shout out to Kyra as well, man. I think he's one of the unsung heroes for ONIC in this game. Game 1 performance not so great, but this guy on the Baksha just target locking everyone in the back line. Even Lanaya, I believe in the early game, he has enough DPS with the ultimate to be able to chunk team 1v4, but it's not gonna matter much.
Does feel a bit disconnected, yeah, when you see it again in the replay, because everybody wants a dive, and then there's Watt, who's all the way in the back, who's like, yo guys, you know, you want to wait up?
I mean, that's the issue with the synergy. I mean, technically, Watt can move forward, but again, at this point, they're a bit too far behind, and even if Watt wants to output the damage, which he does have in that late game, it's a bit too dangerous. And again, it's all about timing, right? If everything happens at the same time, the penalty zone, Drian just, you know, showing up slithering in out of nowhere from behind, going for a pickoff, then Watt coming in together, I feel like that's the great mix of chaos that they could have reused. But against ONIC, Lutpi with the aggressive Benedetta still just chunking the backline again and again. And of course, Sans, despite all these attempts, only getting picked off twice without a sprint, right? With a flicker and only a brute force breastplate. I feel like you have to give some credit to how he's able to really at least survive long enough for his team to really help out.
We're gonna talk about the objective taking first because ONIC dominates this game by a long shot. Pretty much 100% rate on the Lord and also the Turtle. But look at Drian, man. He's on his way on a second BOD.
Oh my god.
I thought it's gonna be like Malefic War to kind of counter Sansa's brute force breastplate, but no, I need more physical attack. I need more movement speed to be able to burst this Clot, this Gord, or whoever that is. He doesn't care.
He really doesn't, man. Rich guy though. GPM by UBS Gold 929. It's Albert this time with the Claude. So an improvement from that game 1 0-0-0 stat line. Now he is 71% KP. 4 turrets.
Look at that. 3 turtles, 2 Lord Tarashi on
And
Kyrie.
1 solo kill on Watt.
Yeah.
Yeah, there are moments like that as well. The solo kill on Watt, we're just like, whoa, well, you know, you see the boxer rolling at you. You pretty much go like, well,
I guess I'll die.
it's been great, but I guess it's over. I guess this is how it ends. So we'll have to see for Dewa again. Even if they have a better draft, if they go for the Masha, I feel like with how they're playing here, no way, man. Against a team like ONIC, that's so calculated, that knows the reasons why they're going for a neutral objective now, why they're rotating into this area now. That kind of random moments from Dewa can work, but not too often, especially against a team like ONIC, right? The very calculative kind of playstyle.
I think the Valentina pick is kind of disconnected from the whole team's view or perspective because I feel like if you want to play Masha with this kind of playstyle, you have to have a very, very solid 4-man to be able to withstand all the damage coming in from ONIC. And utility, peel, or cover is probably much better to delay all of the damage coming in, also prolong the team fight to be able to enable Drian, I guess. So what do you think, Mirko?
I think everything you said like refers to Valentina, no? Good peel, cover.
I think Vexana works better.
I don't think so. When we're talking about pure follow-up, he's gonna have to flicker in, right? And that will leave him easily picked off by the Benedetta. I think like these dives, I really think the Valentina wasn't the issue. Maybe like the pick wasn't the issue. I don't know if the performance or the execution was different, right? But me personally, I think the Masha was off. I think it's like not a right. When you've already picked up Natan in the first phase, it's kind of like what Ultra Ego did against ONIC. They win game 1 with their own way, and in game 2 they're like, savior, only one damage dealer. Take that, ONIC. We're gonna cheese you, even though we won against you without cheese. It's like a weird strategy that they're bringing out against ONIC when they've already won game 1. Take the momentum, man. If ONIC come back in game 2, then you can try cheese, no?
It's like they got carried away a bit.
They got carried away, for sure.
I mean,
and they don't even have carry, so...
Oh, what? You're right. Well,
Oh man, I'm still speechless.
we gotta think. We gotta think.
Yeah, the Masha pick was it was one-dimensional. It was very cheesy.
Very one-dimensional.
Yeah, I mean, Drian is not thinking anything else but going for Albert and Sans. There's no split push. He could have split pushed, but I think ONIC just kind of forces Drian to kind of be present in the fight, because if they played 5v4, they're gonna lose the team fight 100% or like 90%.
That's an interesting question, man. So I think we gotta, again, think about it off the screen right here.
We're gonna wreck our brain
we have to
first.
check numbers and stuff, so...
Yeah, we're gonna wait for more Masha pick from Drian after this game. Let's see what's gonna happen in game 3, but do not go anywhere. Stay tuned to the stream.
Kepikiran ya. Tapi kalau dari Ayang Babesnya Dixon sendiri, Tamara. Halo Tamara, gimana reaksimu tadi ngelihat mungkin Dewa di minggu keempat ini?
Mungkin harus lebih try hard lagi. Itu aja sih.
Ingin lebih try hard lagi ya. Ini soalnya minggu keempat, minggu 2 dan 3 mereka puasa menang. Minggu keempat tentu mereka mengharapkan kemenangan nih ya. Tapi kamu setakut itu kah?
Nggak takut sih, kalau misalnya kalahnya takut Driannya capek aja itu.
Driannya capek. Emang kalau Drian capek gimana Indri?
Ya aku juga ikutan capek.
Ikutan capek. Tapi tenang, nggak akan ada capeknya tentunya untuk mendukung dong pasti Indri.
Ya, pasti.
Semuanya ingin mendukung dan ada nih yang jauh-jauh untuk mendukung dari satu player ONIC. Langsung yuk, jauh-jauh dari Manado dan juga Medan. Kita panggil bersama inilah dia, Suci dan juga Selin. Hai.
Hai Bude.
Selin, kamu jauh-jauh? Dari mana Selin?
Dari Manado Bude.
Khusus untuk menonton match hari ini?
Jelas dong untuk Kiboy.
Untuk Kiboy. Dan yang satunya berarti Suci dari
Medan.
Medan.
Ya.
Untuk menonton
Kiboy.
Kiboy juga. Berdua janjian.
Ya, kami baru kenal.
Baru kenal, bisa-bisanya ini ya fans Kiboy udah Sabang sampai Merauke datang untuk match kali ini nih.
Ya,
Spesial.
spesial banget.
Ada apakah? Kenapa kalian bisa sampai dari jauh-jauh rela untuk hadir ke MPL demi mensupport Kiboy? Dikasih jempol tuh. Wah, mereka wah Kiboy. Apa yang membuat kalian rela nih jauh-jauh?
Ya, karena Kiboy sama-sama dari Manado juga, terus jago sama ganteng. Oh my god.
Jago dan juga ganteng. Jadi sama-sama Manado. Manado Pride. Kalau dari Medan dan Manado jauh. Sama-sama M tapi jauh.
Ya, jauh Manado.
Kenapa? Kamu kenapa ngefans sama Kiboy sampai rela-rela datang jauh-jauh?
Oh, jago, ganteng juga.
Jago dan juga ganteng juga. Dan Bude penasaran, izin ke orang tuanya bilangnya apa? Mau ketemu Kiboy mak gitu?
Mau lihat Mobile Legend, mau lihat ONIC.
Mau lihat ONIC. Dan langsung boleh mangga gitu diizinkan?
Boleh, selagi nggak mengganggu.
Selagi nggak mengganggu pekerjaan. Kalau kamu ngomongnya gimana nih sama orang-orang di Manado?
Tahu sih mau nonton Mobile Legend, lebih khususnya ONIC.
Respon?
Karena bilang ke mama, ke orang tua juga ada Kiboy dari Manado.
Oh, reaksi mereka gimana?
Oh, ada player kayak dari Manado.
Oh, turut bangga ya.
Iya dong.
Ini jauh-jauh mereka. Dan kalau kita boleh balik lagi juga ke Dewa nih, kan bentar lagi game yang ketiga nih. Boleh dong kita kasih dukungan juga ya dari kalian kepada Dewa United ataupun ayang-ayang kalian. Boleh disampaikan kalau mau menyampaikan sesuatu.
Apa ya, semangat sayang gitu aja sih.
Semangat sayang. Kalau dari, boleh Tamara.
Good luck Dixon, I hope you do your best.
Do your best. Setelah dia game ketiga, kalau dari kalian boleh, yuk kasih dukungan. Mungkin mau nyampein sesuatu ke Keyboy.
Oh, oke. Kalau dari aku sih semangat khususnya buat Keyboy sama buat semua player. And go ONIC.
Go ONIC. Pakai bahasa Medan nih. Hei, semuanya.
Boy, semangat kau boy.
Boy, semangat kau boy. Kedua tim harus bersemangat tentunya. Yuk kita bareng-bareng kita lemparkan kepada caster. So caster, please. Game ketiga.
The revenge has to wait for Drian, or maybe the revenge will not happen at all because ONIC somehow, well, not somehow, they came back convincingly in game number 2. Racked up, I believe it was like a 1.10k gold lead. This is like the old ONIC that we've used to.
Yeah.
We're used to seeing.
We see glimpses of it now and then, right? We see like, oh, they're back. And then game 1 is like, wait, are they back?
It's almost sad because like this should be like, dang, ONIC's back in shape. But all we were talking about is like, this Masha, wow.
Yeah, so yay or nay? Leave it in the chat.
We did a vote.
Yeah,
Only we
leave
can
in the
like
chat.
set up a vote, you know, that'll be cool. But
Yay or nay, Masha?
yay or nay, Masha.
I'm a yayification guy.
You're a what?
You what?
Yayification?
Yeah.
Who?
What is
What?
yayification?
It's a reference to
Man.
an old game, but I can't really say that here.
Man's just making up his own terminology. That's crazy.
But yeah, game number 3 will be probably much more standard for Dewa United, considering that they've tried to experiment with the Masha, but this time around, I think it's time to lay low. It's time to, you know, consider the better option. But speaking option, we got something in our hand.
something.
For you
Moonton-
guys.
Yeah, it's a Academy Esports program from Moonton Cares. Moonton Cares and Hope Cup will be organizing a fundraising event for the Garudago Academy. The funds will be given will be calculated based off the in-game goal achievement. What? During all the matches in week number 4 to 6? Wow, this is interesting.
So yeah,
Based on the games?
get Eman to play a lot more.
Yeah.
Get that guy a lot more gold. Get that guy to play like a 40-minute game.
Because yeah, I believe Eman is like the first placer right now, right? In GPM.
I think so, but
Yeah.
unfortunately, oh no, actually, it's doing all matches in weeks 4 to 6 of the regular season of MPL ID. Yeah.
Yeah. So the gold earned by MPL professional players and teams will be accumulated and then multiplied by 30 for the donation amount. So let's witness Moonton Cares and Hope Cup's contribution to the development of the Esports Academy in Indonesia.
Yeah, and while you're watching MPL, don't forget to use GamesMax Booster for anti-lag experience, whether it's streaming or gaming or whatever you want to do with your internet. Use GamesMax Booster for the best internet experience.
For sure, man.
You can get up to 36 gigabyte of data. Hurry up and buy the package. 36 gigabyte, that'll last Arashi a year.
Pretty much.
It's
Pretty much.
factos.
Yeah.
36.
These are facts, bro.
Because Wi-Fi is. Oh, okay.
Well, let's take a look at the previous game recap though, just for a moment. Albert and Watt, again, all overshadowed by the presence of the Masha.
Who dealt the most damage?
Yes.
51,000.
But let's talk about the performance right here. Albert, his team did win game number 2, but Albert didn't do anything too crazy just yet. Whereas Watt, we've seen some 1v1s, some amazing plays, some horribly atrocious plays as well. It's almost like Albert's in the middle, and below and above him are just Watt performances, which is kind of funny.
It's harsh.
What do you mean?
That's true. The absolutely horrible, atrocious gameplays.
Well, you know, it's moments that make you go, what?
Well,
Yeah.
I
Like
don't
sometimes
disagree.
the
I don't
jump with
disagree.
Matilda.
Yeah.
Exactly, and sometimes he makes plays that are so good, you're like, what?
Then
But, you know,
sometimes he jumps in with Matilda and the game just gets turned around.
Yep.
Yeah, sometimes you don't even know if it's good or bad. It's just like, what?
Yeah.
But yeah, that's the Watt style.
we even
literally.
saw that from Dixon. Like he jumped in alone. It's like, wait, did he
What?
swap places with what?
We have to see. It's like his influence is bleeding into his teammates. But drafting phase right here for the final game. Presented to you by our official tournament smartphone, Samsung Galaxy. Let's begin.
They really hate the Minotaur, right? Because
Yeah.
in the first game, that's enough proof for Coach Yep to ban this hero for Drian. But still, Angela, 100% ban rate so far in this match. They don't want to see that global presence in the hard guard.
The hard guard, huh? Especially for a team like Dewa that likes to do crazy things. Like imagine if that was a Masha and there was like a mid lane Angela. That would have been a lot worse. So yes, Angela out of here for now. Dewa was banning away the Nolan, the Joy, standard bans right there, and sometimes the Fredrin as well. So we'll see if they want to default back to that.
This might be another Arlet game because this looks like Fredrin and Mathilda ban one over again, all over again.
Yeah. Should be the Fredrin ban again. The Mathilda comes in, so exactly the same as game number 2, unless they change things here with an Arlet ban or letting go both Arlet and Fredrin and then trading it. You take the Fredrin, I take the Arlet. You take the Arlet, I take the Fredrin.
Can you imagine if Dewa picks the Masha again, or if ONIC picks it up, you know, and kind of like trying to make a statement.
This is how you do it, Dewa. Is that what you're trying to say? ONIC's gonna come out with a statement?
They can do that, or Dewa can be like, you know, we were just playing around game 2. Here's the real Masha power. But for now, right, on the desk, I think we're anonymously voting for Nasha.
Nasha?
We have to prove it. We haven't seen it proven just yet.
Unfortunate Omwawa. I know he's very sad now with that loss.
But still, he's a very happy man right now because it's already been picked.
Come on, Dexter.
It's going to be a Claude ban for Casius. This is very interesting because I believe in game number 2, one of the problems that Watt faces is that presence of Albert just can go into the backline of the Blazing Duet, and also the shield will help him to stay alive at the team fight. But I don't know if it's like the main reason because Fredrin is gonna be picked for Kyrie.
So Arlet and Vexana, they want to go for that. Or Arlet, Vexana, Natan. Or like those three, you know? Arlet, Natan, Vexana, Natan.
Very likely.
Vexana, Arlet. I think they can actually afford to pick the Natan as last pick in first phase, right? We haven't seen Albert play Natan at all this season.
Right. You can go for the Baksha as well. Again, it's just a standard kind of deal. Deal max HP damage, lower regeneration. It's great against the Fredrin. And great for Dewa's playstyle as well, by the way, with the early aggression. That can be an option. I feel like a lot of people are just wondering, especially what Drian's gonna bring out. Because again, it might be a Masha, but even if it's not, it might be the Arlet now.
Arlet, and there's a Barat's shadow pick.
Yeah, they want to go Barats.
Very early, so they're hiding their cards because they're already a jungle in the opposing side. Still want to see what ONIC brings to the table for them to make the decision on this third pick. So Casius playing it safely, just as I said earlier, standard.
Just want to say though, the Barats, well, it's already, like, the win rate for this hero is already abysmal. Today, it's even worse. 0% win rate for the Barats. Every team who picks up Barats loses so far. Novaria getting hovered over, picked up by Sans. They want to try to utilize this range to bully Dewa even more. Poke the Barats down before the neutral objective contest.
We're going to try and spot them out in the jungle before the fights even happen as well. Because we've already said it, Dewa's great with the linear, straightforward approaches to the fight, the brute force approach. ONIC, they have a bit more finesse in how they want to approach these fights. They can go with the poke, they can go with different maneuvers right here. And with the Novaria, they go for the carry. So, same issue with Albert for Albert, like in game number 1. We'll see if they find a way to get around that.
I think a way to get around that is already Fredrin, so Kyrie is going to be the enabler for these two damage-dealing heroes that ONIC picked up. The problem was range, but if you've got enough cover, then it doesn't really matter. But Albert, in game number 1, I believe he has 0 kills, 0 assists, and 0 deaths, so pretty much 0 impact in the game because the range is not much. And
they want to go for it again! They want to go for it again!
Oh, please!
Oh my god! They want to go for it again!
Yayification!
Let's see, ladies and gentlemen,
bro,
if it'll work the second time around. Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. So let's see. Let's see, Drian.
There's no shame in Drian, man.
Now I don't even know what's the right way.
That's the right one. That's the right one.
Is that the right
Yeah, that's the right one.
I don't even know anymore. But you know, you guys at home know exactly what we're talking about. Doubling down on Dewa. Like we said, we feel that they are moments where it seemed like it might work. Let's see if the execution keeps up with it though. Especially against the Novaria. The Masha against the Novaria. You can destroy her a lot faster, but at the same time, you can't chase past the walls.
Yeah.
So, unless you thunderclap through the wall. I don't know, man. There's so many ways it can play out. Let's skip that for now and move towards the bans, X-Borg, and the Natan taken away though. So Dewa, they have to go for something different. And the Claude isn't available either. So if they want to go for a full-on dive-in composition, I think only the Claude was the answer. But without that, what could it be?
Claude. Another gold lane ban maybe for ONIC.
Bruno or Brody? No. There's a comment though from Mr. Chico of Rebellion, head coach.
The key to winning against ONIC, in my opinion, is to bravely play outside our comfort zone, like which Trian is doing right now.
Exactly.
Because if you play in a templated manner, they are strong in that aspect. So basically, bring the cheese to the porcupine because they don't like it.
But Dewa, game 1, didn't cheese.
Yeah, you're right.
Well, there was a diver.
So Chico is a fraud.
That's a very, very bold statement there.
No, just kidding. I'm just joking, Chico. Sorry.
We all know who
the
the fraudulent one is. We won't talk about that.
Who?
All right.
Me?
No.
What? Oh, what?
Where did that come from?
Sukuna, anyways.
Oh, okay. I don't watch JJK. Sorry.
What?
I know the.
It's in the game.
I know the plot from memes. All right.
All right, enough.
It's like watching
Enough.
other.
Enough, Shevin.
Enough, Sheffin. Let's see what Dewa pick.
We'll change that, Shevin, in the near future. Pick for Dewa though. I feel like the mid lane has to be something AoE, something with crowd control for sure. If they want to make this work. Oh, what the heck?
Oh my God.
Well, okay.
Oh.
If we're gonna go cheese, we're gonna go cheese. Okay, we're gonna go crazy. Well, at least this makes more sense. They want to dive. They want to
man.
dive. They want to dive big time, man.
Mozzarella, Parmesan, Gouda, like cheddar, everything.
That's blue cheese right there, man.
Yeah. It's smelly here in MPL Arena.
Oh my goodness.
Roger. I mean, we saw it work, but for a different purpose. The Roger wasn't picked because, oh, we need dive, right?
You know what time it is now, Raji?
What is it?
Loyi in the mid lane.
Oh.
Loyi. If you want to go cheese, man.
Oh, that can work.
Go cheese,
With
man.
this comp, that
exactly,
can work, though.
Exactly. Just go in, man. Yuzong.
Fingers crossed, fingers crossed. Yuzong for now. Good neutral objective control. The way ONIC likes it. Put some uniformity in how they approach the game, but we've seen that Luthi hasn't been the most adept on it. And with a Kaja right here, might be quote-unquote a solution for the Masha, right?
you want
He's
it,
diving
Case.
in, just tie her up.
You know you want it.
It's very likely. It's very likely.
You
Let's
know
see
you
though.
want it, Case.
So far, ONIC
Let the
records
cheese flow through you, man.
against
Come on.
Luoyi in Season 13 is 0-2. They might want to make it 0-3 with this pick. They're taking their time.
Let the cheese flow through you, Case.
Yes.
Let the cheese guide you.
You're feeling
Case.
salty right now.
Follow the
Please.
cheese.
You have a Masha, you have a Roger. If you don't go for it, it'll only disappoint us and the viewers. Do it.
Submit to the
Do
cheese
it.
gods. You
Do
know
it.
you want to.
This is basically a path for Dewa to take if they want to go full cheese.
Hello, hello.
Go big or go home. Let's go, let's go, let's go. 0 seconds on the clock. And the answer is... a Pyramid.
Well, I mean, it makes sense too, right? You want to
Yes.
dive, you want a Pyramid to give you extra HP, but not what we wanted. Obviously, we would want a Loyi. Maybe we would want something like a... Oh my god, I just noticed Yeb's hair. Interesting.
What about it?
It's like tied up to the back. It's like a knot.
Top knot.
It's like Aaron.
Yeah.
It's
Somewhere
like
yet.
Aaron.
It's not like Aaron.
The man bun. But yeah, this has been one of the craziest drafting phases in MPL Indonesia Season 13 so far. We got Roger, we got Masha. 2 games. 2 games. And
Double
this
down,
time
baby.
around, the counter index and lineup rating actually... Oh no, it doesn't like Dewa United. I misread that, but it's not much of a difference. So it's a good sign, Rashi.
I'm still concerned mainly for Albert right here. Everyone seems like they have their own roles, their own windows of opportunity. For Albert, it just looks so brutal right here. I don't know how this is going to play out, but we'll have to see. Only time will tell.
Who's gonna own the sky? Who's gonna own this domain? Is it gonna be the gods? Is it gonna be the kings? It's going to be Dewa United Esports versus Sonic Game 3.
Let's see if the cheese can work against ONIC. They have Kyrie with a knife, so technically, usually, you see that knife cut through cheese very easily.
Symbolism very early on right here.
but it might be frozen cheese.
Oh, well, Anaya will be pressured a bit by Keyboy right there. It's the early game though. That's where I'm really quite confused here. With 2 fighters on the side of ONIC and a lot more on the side of Dewa. I feel like it's still Dewa's early game fight. So, especially in the first turtle fight, there's going to be a lot of action. Whoa.
The claws. Albert bullied out of the lane. 4 now.
Makes sense, right? Because like if you land the first kill, it's pretty much a, I believe, armor shred, and also the first skill when you're in wolf form deals a lot of damage, and combined with the Master Assassin Rashi in the early game.
The amount of Master Assassins we're looking at right here, very, very interesting. Case though, by the way, is going for the lethal ignition, so an extra bit of damage in a full-on combo. Sans goes for the rupture and the wilderness, so he's trying to roam. But against this team, I feel like it's going to be severely curbed by the danger that he faces when he's walking through the jungle right there. Before he knows it, there could be Drian just waiting to just destroy him.
It's a hard time so far for Keys because so far Drian has not paid any mind to mid lane at all. Doesn't really care about Basha owning the mid lane. Top lane though, Dixon already secured some minions, so this is a pretty, you know, not eventful early game from both of these teams.
This is where it begins though. ONIC getting ready for a trap, going for a cut right here, trying to pressure. We'll see if Dewa can respond, especially when they're spread apart like this. Can they go for a pincer maneuver, or are they going to let it go?
Seems like ONIC have the better hold right now. Drian not level 4 yet. Luke P is though. Sans not level 4 as well. Black Dragon forward to the back right now, trying to zone them away as Lanaya makes his way into the turtle, but Kyrie stays stable as usual. Picks up the retribution, on point as ever. Kaze has another realm. Won't be able to use it, but Drian gets Divine Judgment out of the Nether Realm. Dixon with a good sidestep. Lanaya trying to bring Keyboy back into turret range. Kaze with a stampede gets out back to the turret.
Don't do your friend like that, Keyboy. He just says, get over here, get out of that called altar.
Yeah, we don't play like that, denying Drian the protection. But for Dewa, going for the neutral objective right there, I feel like they should have gone for a fight. Now, Kyrie.
1v2. Sans is there too, though. And Lanaya is actually going to be the one who secures it with the retribution.
Ooh, all right.
Drian, thunderclap to the back. Albert going to be very low. Watt is nowhere near to follow up, though. They might be looking for a dive right now, but Albert dashes through onto the wall. Drian still fast. Another thunderclap. Albert gets out with 1 HP. And now Sans puts the Astral Echo on him. Keyboy is whipping him down, running him down too. Drian getting out for now, still getting whipped down very low. Hayes walks up now. Keyboy might be on away. Stampede has the flicker, gets out.
Battle of Flickers. The patience though for Ashi. The patience of Albert. He didn't really push the flicker right away when he knew that second thunderclap is coming, so shout out to him for that.
I mean, he barely survived right there, so credit where credit is due. But for Dewa, now, you have to wonder what is the idea. How do they want the fights to play out? Because they only really engage, it's a final slash. And the reason why they were able to be so dominant and dictative of how the game goes in game 1 was because they have all these tools available. Now, ONIC just have to make sure that they don't get caught in a massive final slash. And aside from that, now no real spell. We're really spell doom for them in the middle of a big fight.
1.1k gold lead going into the second Eternal teamfight. Dixon already cleared that top lane minion. And now it looks like Drian might be looking for a sandwich.
They want to dive. Astral Echo revealing too, though. Albert able to dash away for now, but Watt and Drian are diving him down. It's an ultimate fail for Dewa United. And even up top now, the 3v3, a Petrify on a 2. And it's actually Kyrie who secures it. Another realm forced to be used defensively. Dewa losing on all fronts. Dixon shown away in the mid lane. Now found the Astral Spear, or Astral Meteor rather, and the Spear not connecting, but ONIC 2,000 gold lead whipping down the turret gold in the mid lane, and now going for the purple buff. Lanaya, no retribution. Harry doesn't want to go for it either, but it's Sans who picks it up, and Dewa are in shambles for sure.
This is probably the worst case scenario so far for the last 1 minute, Arashi. Everything just went wrong for this plan of revenge for Drian.
April Fools came early.
Man, they went for the dive right there. I wonder what happened. Well, what happened literally, but I do wonder how it went so wrong. It seems like they have the damage available for sure. I mean, Watt isn't snowballing by the hot cross, but look at this.
Defensive Tetsun is welcome. into the back. Kyrie brought back into turret range, actually. Watt dealing a bit of damage. Creon diving in, and the final slash is went from Dixon. Now they go in. Lycan pounce from Watt, securing one, chasing them down. Keyboy getting caught in the stampede, brought back as well. Dixon with a vengeance, resets all the way, finds the kill, even though Keyboy flickers out. Oh! Drian doing one more thunderclap to the back. Lutpi in the midst of it all once again as Drian is low. The Nether Realm is there though. Drian walks out. Lanaya getting targeted down by Lutpi, but it's not going to be worth it as he gets taken down as well. And all in all, it ends up being 3-3 in the scoreboard. Watt versus Albert though. I don't think Albert wants to fight this.
He doesn't want the smoke, especially with Drian in the wings. He is so determined.
He knows.
It's unreal. He still goes for it. Like just waiting for the right moment. He's going in there now.
They go for it together. It's a dive to Albert to purify as well, but he gets scratched down and popped by the Ghost Burster. Now the Brazer's Rat taking Drian down. Case still there as well. Watch on a siege down. The turret in the bottom lane as the final slash will be cancelled away. One more time though. Is a vengeance reset onto the back. Watt has dealt with the turret. Do they want to keep on going in? Dashes out. Dixon does as well.
What?
And Dewa United somehow get out.
Surely that's not intentional, Rashi. Did you see that?
No, it's not. What a weird interaction. The vengeance into the Fredrin, but then Kyrie dashing to try and punish Dixon, but it doesn't connect, and Dixon gets out. That's the kind of fight they require to really come out on top, when they can slowly but surely chase down and avoid all these AoE combos that ONIC can bring to the table. We'll see if ONIC allows them though, because now with the turtle in play once again.
Ooh, he's running.
Who's your target? Who's your target?
Oh, they've already used the Black Dragon form here. Lutpi might be in a bit of trouble. Lanaya already used Death's Welcome Keyboard amidst it all right now. The Retro Battle will be won out by Lanaya with the help of the Nether Realm. They dive to Kyrie, isolated, all alone and taken down by Watt. Meanwhile, Drian gets shot down by Sans.
He's trying to chase him over the wall. They're still going for it.
That's a great solution.
For now, it's good zoning, because Sans was not able to retaliate and defend the mid lane, and Lanaya will be able to capitalize on it even more. Into the purple buff, Keyboy tried to secure it for his team, will not be able to.
Insanity. Absolute chaos. The last 2 minutes has been Drian just on the helmet for Dewa United, leading the charge. He knows that Albert is very, very vulnerable. And Albert, you know what? Build those physical item defense early, man. You gotta survive.
Ooh, see, with cheese, you need to let them cook. I mean, I think ONIC is waiting for the cheese to melt, to expire, right? We'll have to see though, because right now, the fact that Kibo is on the Kaja means he can, stop Drian from diving to the back line, but he doesn't provide the same kind of damage that an Arlet does, or the repetitive kind of crowd control that the Arlet can bring. So now, you saw it earlier, Kiwi was trying to protect Sans, but he was powerless. Drian just walks past him, and Sans just very masterfully went outside of the map, abusing that Astro Recall, showing again why Novaria has a lot more skill, a lot more outplay potential than you would think. But let's take a look at the item builds right here. Heptacy is completed for Drian already, but Watt only has a Windtalker on top of the House Claw, so definitely not hardcore snowballing, but 800 gold ahead. Definitely a good start that he wanted to have a lot earlier in this game.
So far, Lutpi, we've kind of criticized the way he played the first game. He's just following the calls from ONIC. Doesn't really have that killer instinct or like individual prowess that the Escalator should have. But so far, Rashi, like, what do you think about this Yuzhong in this 9 minutes of the game?
The Yuzhong? I mean, earlier we did immediately notice that, they already used the Black Dragon form very early. So it seems like when it comes to these mind games, right? The back and forth, the dance, literally, in the Lord Pit, he has less experience, and so he's a lot more prone to really being baited, to be baited to use his ultimate compared to the rest of the players right here. They have a lot more composure, knowing that this is just the way it goes, right? Now, you're setting the Lord back and forth, with an even minion wave on the other side. Both teams just are going all in on this. We'll have to see if Drian makes the first move though, because he's waiting for something right there.
Did get spot up as well from the ultimate from Novaria, but interestingly enough, Drian is not considering split pushing at all. He just want to straight go into the team fight.
He's just zoning, knowing that ONIC is going to be reliant on Sans and Albert to really output damage. By being alone, chasing the two of them, he can kind of deal with that. But with Sans clearing the lane on the bottom side though, now Dewa are kind of pressured a bit more. But wait, with the tower clearing the minion wave on the bottom side, now it'll start pushing towards ONIC instead.
And Sonis just can
that could
clear
be a
the
mistake.
wave with the Astral Echo from far away, so no pressure, like no threat at all. Even though Trian is not there, but Sans definitely, you know, kind of smells like there's some threat here. Maybe Trian is here, but with the range, just he's very safe. Now ONIC, I feel like they have this Lord fight a bit better than Dewa United.
Yeah.
Find something. Oh, Dixon stops ONIC in their tracks. So without a
Finally.
conceal.
Yeah. Finally, the Masha goes down, right? We were waiting for this moment. It took him a while, but we are seeing it now.
No, he's waiting though. Oh, I think he was actually just attempting to punish anyone coming in.
Whoa!
But
Clear Divine Judgment right as they see the Masha down below. Dixon caught, even with another realm. He loses that HP now. It's another re-engage to the back as Dixon dives in deep as well, but will be taken down. Lopi in the midst of it all here. Furious dive defensively as Watt goes into Lycan form, taunted up and shot down. That's Lanaya falling. Watt doing some damage though in the back. Sunster collapse Albert, and Watt now is running them down with the Lycan pounce. That's one, that's two. Lopi very low. Watt gets the Lycan pounce to shred him down. 3 for 2 for Dewa United.
The beasts are unleashed for Dewa United. Oh my goodness, 2 solo plays from Watt and also Trian. Just clapping Albert. What an engage.
Keyboy went for the play right there, but the punish. Can Keyboy go for a steal right here though?
No red
No
string.
way.
They don't know he's here.
No way.
And like the
Kaja passive.
Nobody knows.
Oh.
Keyboy, can this be it? Keyboy still in the vicinity, has
no.
the whip
Good
down.
patience.
They're looking for their patient. Keyboy, no, he will not be able to find it. Drian, Thunder claps him all the way back to base.
The cheese is finally cooked for Trian. And they're eating off of ONIC. They're eating the porcupines.
Whew, man,
Cheese him up.
you gotta cheese him up. ONIC now just lost on what to do. They went for the right play. Remember the tip from Chico. ONIC is good with textbook scenarios. They went for the Lord Dance. They got the pick off when they saw one member on the far side of the map. But afterwards, the chaos that Dewa brings to the table right here, ONIC are just lost. They have no idea how to continue and proceed with the team fight after the initial sequence of events.
Oh, this coming. Oh, final slash. Whew. They too close for comfort. And they're going for it.
They will be able to siege this down. A wave built up top as well. Albert sent to deal with it. Now with a wind of nature, that should give
One
him
more
a bit more
layer.
ease of mind in the back when Drian jumps in.
Oh man, this is nerve-wracking for both of these teams, man. Dewa United is looking to close this one out. 1k gold lead. Not so much, but a lead is a lead, especially against ONIC. Already uses the Retri to secure this bottom lane, a tier 2 turret. Another map pressure secured for Dewa.
And now Melfic Roar and a Divine Glaive for the 2 damage dealers. Or actually, 2 out of 3.
Let's take a the replay right here by our official tournament smartphone, Samsung Galaxy. Like here. Initially, they were just reacting, but look at Trian. Oh man, the timing was so good. On the other side, Kyrie, in turn, was left alone with Lutfi. And with the 2 members, with the gold laner being a fighter from Dewa, this means that all these fighters that can do decent damage, but not a full-on burst, can be dealt with. And Watt didn't back down. He just went back in, knowing that he has the Has Claws, he has a lot more damage and survivability in that Roger. So he just went toe-to-toe and just started getting into a fist fight 2v2.
Oh man, I think Roger's gonna be a better pick, or like
A more popular pick.
yeah, more popular pick so far later into the season, man. Because we've seen the uses, as you said, Arashi. The durability is something that other marksmen cannot offer, and the hybrid between melee and also range, Yuzhong is pretty much non-threat at all. Like, how do you deal with this?
On top of that, the Yuzhong just finished the Brute Force breastplate as well, so he's still going with the War X Hunter Strike. Very aggressive.